It is a chilly night here in Pittsburgh as you're watching NCAA Women's Gymnastics and tonight's tri-meet between North Carolina, Temple, and the host Panthers. Now the Owls swept their home week last week, swept the podium on 2 of their events. Carolina won 3 of 4 events, only to lose a tough one to NC State, while the Panthers won their first conference meet of the year, and Pitt is 5-2 on the season. Welcome inside the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Jeff Hathorn and former Pitt gymnast Danny Hall, and it's a short week for the Panthers. They've been pushing hard to make sure they finish.
And that word push actually means a lot for the Panthers this week. It's been their theme. It stands for persist until success happens. So that's what they've been focusing on and living by, and we saw some of that success last week against GW.
Yeah, head coach Samantha Snyder pleased with how many different people are making an impact, and they did against George Washington.
Yeah, some of the highest scores this season on each event have been from different gymnasts. So because so many different people are contributing and playing a role, it really makes them more united as a team and close-knit. And they know that everyone has to do their job, so everyone leans on each other to get it done.
So many different Panthers with season highs and a career high for Sophie Bohenig on the floor as they'll face a couple of specialists of the week, starting with North Carolina and the Eagle Specialist of the Week, Michaela Robinson, a 9-9 on vault against NC State, and Indy Anderson, the ECAC Specialist of the Week, with a 9-9 on the floor. As we are set to go, the Panthers starting on vault with Charlie Spivey leading off for the Panthers. Great look here inside the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. It's amazing the work they've done to this building and how much it's transformed even over the years that you've been here, Danny.
Yeah, it looks brand new. All the decals and the new colors. Looks great in here.
As Charlie gets ready to lead off, North Carolina will be on bars and on beam for Temple. So Charlie, the senior, the only senior in rotation for the Panthers.
You can see their brand new retro color leotards.
You like the look?
I do. I like the old colors.
Charlie Spivey, all Scholastics team last year. Ready to go.
Little hop on her Yurchenko full, but what a great start for Charlie and the Panthers on vault.
No team better in vault in conference play than Pitt on vault.
We're going to see her Yurchenko full once more. It's good height off the table, and there's that little hop again. Barely moves. That was a good start for them.
We're heading over to balance beam, and
just in time for the dismount.
Yeah, Taylor Newland for the Owls on beam.
See a cat leap to a side summy, right to a back tuck full dismount and a tiny hop.
Freshman from Ohio with a good start as we head over to bars and North Carolina.
Small step on her dismount there.
Megan Ruzicka there on bars for North Carolina. Olivia Miller, the freshman from Monroeville, Pennsylvania, just miles down from the Pitt campus, getting ready to go after a solid performance last week on vault. Olivia's such a bright start to her career.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see some more of that tonight at home. She will also be doing a Yurchenko full. Just a step back, but other than that, really nice form, really good height. Another good vault for the Panthers. How high she gets off the table, and her legs are straight the whole way down.
So the Panthers talking it over. Devin Irvine up next for the Panthers on vault as we wait for Michaela Williams on bars for North Carolina, and also waiting for Temple on beam, Jordan Oster. There's Michaela. She gets set to go.
Jumping straight up to the high bar. Straddle Jaeger. Right back onto the bar. Bail to the low bar. Toe handstand. Going right back up for her dismount. Double layout and a stick from UNC.
So after a struggle in the first performer, good outcome there. Here goes Devin Irvine.
Layout half and a step. Really open, nice shape in the air, and the team seems happy about that one. You can see how straight her body stays in the air and how she's just in the right position to land. Just has to take that step to control her power a little bit.
So we see Temple on beam. Taylor Newland with a 9.525.
Kick over front. And a back full dismount. And a stuck dismount there.
Jordan Oster with the hold there. See Haley Breckwald. We spoke of Olivia Miller and what she's done in her freshman year. Of course, Haley, what a spectacular year she had last year.
Yeah, she had a great year, especially for a freshman. We talk about how everyone plays the role no matter what year they are, but she really stepped up last year.
Charlie Spivey with a 9.725. Same score for Devin Irvine. And Olivia Miller with a 9.7.
Solid vault. Something to note, all of these vaults are going to start from a 9.95, not a 10.0. So a 9.95 is the highest score they could possibly get, and then they deduct back from there.
Panthers on vault, we see over on bars for North Carolina, a 9.7 for Michaela Williams. Drew Aldridge.
Left dismount. A little hot there.
Head over to beam. For the Temple Owls and Jasmine Estrella.
Full turn with the small bobble there. Cat leap to a side aerial, very solid.
So the Panthers going on vault.
Another Yurchenko full with a small step.
Sophie Bohenek.
So much energy from here. Back handspring to a back layout for a series on beam. Round off to a back 1.5 dismount, and another stick for Temple.
Good performance by Estrella. As we go over to vault. Panthers, Sophie Bohenek.
See how high she gets. Just can't control her energy. Has to take a step on the landing there.
Alicia Petrikis will finish for the Panthers on vault. Haley Breckwald, a 9.825. UNC, a 9.7 and a 9.4 on bars as we see Petrikis.
It's a huge vault. Just a small step at the end there.
What'd you like about that, Dana?
She was super high off the table. You can see how, we'll see here, her shape in the air. Hips are perfectly aligned with her shoulders to land. Just has to take that small step.
UNC with an early fall on bars. Carolina, a 9.7 and a 9.425. So we see over on beam, the Temple Owls and Ariana Casrense.
knocked up there to the beam. Saw a step on the dismount on bars.
Emily White finishing on bars for North Carolina.
One arm back handspring to a back layout, just a small bobble there. Pretty weak series. Round off to a double full twist dismount. It's a good ending to her routine.
It's over on bars in North Carolina.
Didn't get quite enough rotation to stand up tall and not take that step there. But she saved it from a fall, so that's good.
Miss Donaghy up next for head coach Derek Galvin, who has been there since the program became an NCAA sport in '81.
Here's that round off double full. You can see she's a little short, doesn't quite complete the twist, but she might have been able to cover it up well enough with her landing.
A lot of power there. As head coach Josh Nilsson in his first year for the Temple Owls. Inherited a pretty good team. Picked to win the ECAC. We go over to bars and Grace Donaghy.
Nice first handstand. Good first impression on her routine. To a Jaeger. Doesn't quite get close enough to the bar to grab on there. Now they'll have to count one of their falls, unfortunately.
Carolina come in leading in the Eagle in bars.
Comes right back up to the high bar. Bail to the low bar. She's going to want to try to not give the judges any more tenths to take away because they need to count one of these fallen scores. Double layout dismount. Just a tiny little bobble on her landing there. Here's her double layout dismount again coming up. Just a little bit under rotated. Her legs a little apart in the air, but good finish after coming back from a fall there.
Delaney Garin up next for the Temple Owls. So see her information, the sophomore from Virginia. Solid performance last week.
Nice full turn.
Being one time last year as a freshman.
Back handspring to back layout series, straight to a jump. It's a nice combination.
Back to her career high of 9.825 on beam. Came against Pitt last year.
Split jump to a split three-quarter turn. To a tuck back full. I think that's the third stock dismount that at least we've seen from Temple.
Another solid performance against the Panthers for Delaney.
There's that side aerial, the tuck back full. Set herself up perfectly to get still, not landing there.
The best at bars in the Eagle. Riley Dewhurst.
Team will be looking for a big score from her to hopefully make up some ground for counting a fall. Scale to handstand. Setting up for her dismount. Another double layout and a stick.
Shows you why she's been so good.
Again, just the right amount of rotation and a good body position to not budge on that landing.
A bit of a struggles for North Carolina. You see Hesrinse with a 9.725. Panthers are done on vault, 48.725. And we'll see Monica Servideo up last for the Owls.
Handspring back layout on beam. It's a triple series, so it had 3 different acro elements in it. It's pretty challenging. Switch leap to a tuck 3/4. Really solid routine so far. Nice full turn. Round off to 1.5 inches, the tiniest of hops on her landing.
Look at Coach Nilsson, happy with what Temple has done to lead off here on beam.
There's a dismount again. See how happy Coach is with that.
It's a tough event to start on, but I can get some early confidence with success on the beam. And the Temple Owls did have success on beam. Jasmine Estrella was solid for the Temple Owls on beam. And the Panthers were very good on vault as well. You see Estrella with the dismount there. And Michaela Williams for North Carolina on bars, although a struggle on bars, but not for Haley Breckwald on vault, as the Panthers, Owls, and Tar Heels continue here in Pittsburgh. Welcome back to the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse as the Panthers are honoring some of their former greats, including Danny Hall, who is with me right now. And of course, for the Temple Owls, it is a new start for Temple. After having a really solid year last year, they bring in Josh Nilsson. He was hired in July after a year at Air Force, the highest finish in 6 years for the Air Force Academy. Of course, also spent some time at Utah State and Penn State. I think what's as impressive as anything is that he's able to manage his team and 5 sons at home, which I can't imagine what that would be like.
I imagine they have a good time if they ever come and sit in through practice, bouncing around and whatnot.
4 grandkids for Derek Galvin at North Carolina in his 38th year. Has been there since it became a sport, as we mentioned earlier, in 1981. 5 Eagle titles, been in the NCAA tournament 12 of the last 17 years. He's a Dublin, Ireland native who moved to Arlington, his family did, when he was 10 years old. And you can see that there. A second year for Samantha Snyder as the Panthers, she is celebrating some of the former greats that are here. Just in her second season, off to a 5-2 start this year, got in the NCAAs last year in her first year as head coach, and Danny really brings an energy to this program.
Yeah, I think she brings a certain fire and intensity, and she keeps demanding more and more, but I think the team's responding really well.
We have scores from the first rotation. We'll share some of those with you as we continue from here in Pittsburgh. rankings, and you see how tight it is in this conference with North Carolina, NC State, and Pitt. In fact, the Panthers just a point away from being 21st in the national rankings. And Danny, it changed the NCAA tournament as the regionals have become a 3-day event, and teams are eliminated each day. You kind of like the changes?
I think it's a good change because instead of having 6 teams at one meet and you can only compete 4 events at one time. So you used to have 2 buys, and now everyone can keep on competing and keep going with their groove and their energy. So I think that's a good thing about it.
And I guess if you're in one of the 7th or 8th brackets, you could go 3 straight days.
Yeah, so the first day is just the 7th and 8th teams competing to get that spot on the second day. And if they then move on from that day, then they're competing 3 days in a row.
But I guess at that point, your season is either continuing or ending, so
yeah.
you kind of find that energy.
You are maxing out that weekend for sure.
As you hear Sweet Caroline playing here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse as we get ready for another rotation between the second rotation as the Panthers move over to bars for head coach Samantha Snyder. Temple goes to the floor, and over to beam goes North Carolina. You see another good crowd here. It's been brutal weather in Pittsburgh. In fact, the University of Pittsburgh shut down a couple of times because of cold. As we look at a really solid beam rotation for the Temple Owls.
That triple series again, 3 Acro elements in one series. You don't see that very often.
That's Monica Servideo. Not just anchored it, but really killed it for Temple. And we look at the scores as the Temple Owls are in the lead. They drop a 9.525 on beam. You see Servideo with a 9.9 and 9.825 for Estrella. A couple of 9.725 from Casrense and Guerin, and Oster with a 9.7. So really good for Temple on beam.
It's a good starting on beam, and starting that high up is really great for them.
What's that do for your confidence?
I'm sure it's great. They're going to cruise through the rest of this meet now that they had beam over with, and they did that well.
Meanwhile, for North Carolina, struggle where they had to count a fall of a 9.025 from Donahue. You see a 9.75 from Dewhurst and a 9.7 from Michaela Williams.
Yeah, those are 3 scores on the lower end there, so I'm sure they're going to try to pick up the meet from here and make up for some ground.
For the Panthers on vault, a good rotation. They find themselves just behind Temple, and you see Ailey Breckwall with a 9.825.
A really solid start on vault. Up next on bars, and they have 5 people in that lineup again, so all 5 of them need to hit in order for them to not count a fall.
So once again, Samantha Snyder putting pressure on the 5 that are doing bars as they await Haley Breckwald's return to bars. And you see Sophie Bohenik
jumping up straight to the high bar. It's her first handstand to a free hip. The Ginger. Leg separation, but catches it well. Bail to the low bar. Hits her last handstand nice. Line full, and a double tuck dismount with a small step backwards. It's always good to hit your first routine and get the rotation set up for success.
So we mentioned with the Panthers, pressure to not have any falls, and Bohenik's able to come through.
You can see that leg separation at the end there. She gets a little lost in her turn there. It's a little crooked, but manages to straighten it out for the dismount.
We go over to floor, and Erica Fuchs for the Temple Owls. Pennsylvania native, and you see over on beams North Carolina.
Nice back handspring layout for her.
Grace Donahue. See the scores in your lower right.
Front layout to a front full on floor.
Get you to Olivia Miller when she begins her rotation on bars. She's just getting some last-minute advice.
Solid side arrow on the beam.
And there she is. The freshman starts for the Panthers.
Toe handstand to a blind change, pike Jaeger. Another great handstand. Bail down to the low bar with a little leg separation there in the air. Nice last handstand. Sets up for her full in double tuck dismount. A little too much energy, over-rotated, steps back, but other than that, a great routine from Olivia.
Sophie Bohenik with a 9.55.
Here's the dismount again. See how fast she needs to go to flip and twist, and she does a great job.
So we see the Panthers meeting, trailing here early at home.
That front layout, front full again.
Erica Fuchs was first up for the Owls, and Grace Donaghy.
Almost stuck dismount on beam.
Alexis Allen up next for North Carolina. Alexis Allen, all-tournament first team on vault for Derek Galvin last year. 4 times a 9.8 or higher on beam. As we go over to the floor, and Jaylene Everett for Temple.
Starting off with a round off back handspring double pike.
Allen on beam for North Carolina.
Bail to the low bar on bars for Krista. It's a nice handstand there. Takacha right back onto the bar. She's set up for her dismount, a blind full. Straight into a double tuck. Small hop on the landing, a little bit under-rotated, but another hit for bars. And a round up back handspring double tuck. Looks like her legs kind of gave out at the end there. I'm sure she's a little fatigued. And a stuck dismount on beam.
A lot going on these tri-meets. It's kind of fun to come and watch because your eyes can always go to something, and we're trying our best to make sure we keep you up to date with who is where.
Keeping us busy up here. Here's a dismount again. You can see she just doesn't quite get all the way around. Her shoulders are a little bit low, but she saves it with that hop.
So a lot of smiles on the Panthers' faces. Apologize. Taylor Newland is on floor for Temple.
Double tuck. You can see her legs just not quite recover from landing quick enough. And there's a stuck dismount on beam. You can see how excited her team is about that one.
So we see Lily Dean up next for North Carolina. Lily Dean, a sophomore from Massachusetts. 9 meets as a freshman, a Dean's List student for North Carolina. And there's Jaylene Everett for the Temple Owls on floor.
Very pretty back handspring back layout on beam. Nice form.
And for the Panthers, Rachel Dugan on bars.
You can see her arms kind of gave out on the bail there. So the Panthers, unfortunately, will have to count a fall. Floor, we see a round off back handspring, double pike.
Jaylene Everett on floor, Lily Dean on beam, and Rachel Dugan back on bars.
Double layout dismount from Rachel. Small step on the landing. The back handspring gainer, back full dismount on beam. A little over-rotated, had to take a step back.
Good work by Lily Dean. North Carolina had to count a fall on bars, and they're trying to bounce back on beam. Panthers also will have to count a fall as Jaylene Everett finishes on floor for Temple. As we look at the dismount from Dugan.
Just that small step there, but she had to fight for everything. And again, a small step on the dismount on beam too.
His father played in the NHL. Assistant coach for the Bruins, Kevin Dean. Imagine those are some intense practices. As a hockey coach.
There's the round off back handspring, double pike on floor. So her hips were a little too far back, had to take a step to catch up with the rest of her body. And a pretty deep combo.
So after a 9-9 on beam, Monica Servideo will go next for Temple on floor, and Kaja Hislop on beam for North Carolina.
Front aerial to a back handspring step out for her series.
First team All-Eagle on beam last year. Some impressive stats. Kaja. I love her nickname. Her nickname is K-Money. And if you've got that nickname, you must be good.
Must be a big deal down there. She looks super confident, poised up on the beam. If she's nervous, you cannot tell at all.
She won the beam against Pitt last year with a 9-9.
I'm sure she'll be looking to repeat that.
That would only get her into a tie as we see Lucy Brett for the Panthers over on bars, and a good finish.
On beam. Lucy setting up for her double layout dismount. Looks perfect to me.
You know, Krista Collins has one speed.
She's always the first one up there with her arms up and her mouth wide open.
And an accomplished dancer, I understand.
Oh, she's great. Everyone should really keep an eye on her.
Monica Servideo on the floor for the Temple Owls.
Round off back handspring to a double tuck. Shoulders a little bit low, but managed to take a step and make it look good.
All-around at 10 as a freshman.
Round off back 1.5 to a front layout. Duck landing there.
But this Temple team has been impressive. And a good finish there by Servideo. You see Lucy Brett again finishing on bars.
See how powerful she is, how much energy she's getting in this swing, and when she lets go, she just lets it float, and she just arrives at this landing perfectly. Side aerial to a back layout full, and another perfect arrival at a landing.
Two great performances almost simultaneously here in Pittsburgh, and Derek Galvin pleased, as he should be. It's been a good beam rotation so far for North Carolina. 9.575 and 9.7 and a 9.8. We're awaiting the score from Hislop. As we see Kylie Dewhurst.
Had a little wobble on her back handspring layout there, but saved it.
Kaiserense up next for Temple on floor. Panthers
on the beam.
finished on bars. We'll go through some scores here in a little bit. There's some dance moves right there.
You can see some fun choreography on the floor for Temple. She starts with a round off back handspring to a double layout. Runs a little too far, or tumbles a little too long, but she stepped out of bounds, so that'll be a deduction.
One of the freshmen competing here in Pittsburgh tonight. Rhythm is not a problem for her.
No, she looks great dancing. Really great to be able to have the energy and endurance to dance like that and be so entertaining. It's have great tumbling at the same time and be able to shift gears and focus on both. Round off back layout half to a front 1.5.
Really entertaining performance by Kaiserense. Josh Nilsson pleased.
That double layout again, and you'll see she lands right on the edge and has to take that step out of bounds. As a freshman, it's hard to gauge what kind of energy you're going to have, and you have to hold back or maybe push a little more in the meet, but she'll find her happy spot.
So video with a 9-7, Jamie DeSico. It's a really experienced group for North Carolina. A lot of seniors and juniors who make impacts in their lineup.
Yeah, their juniors are about half of the team, actually. To a back layout.
DeSico, a personal best 9.825 on the beam against Pitt.
Nice full turn there. The leap series a little bit off balance, but I think she covered it up.
Brett with a 9.85 for the Panthers on bars. As India Anderson is ready to go on the floor for Temple. The reigning ECAC Specialist of the Week for a 9.9 on this exercise.
This will be another entertaining performance. Starts off with a round off back handspring to a double pike.
First thing that steps out about India is her height, 5'7".
Doesn't sound tall, but that's kind of tall for a gymnast.
What's the advantage of height?
I think you can really show off like your lines and your shapes more with that kind of height. And also maybe just longer legs, getting more power in your runs and stuff.
Senior from South Carolina, dealt with an injury most of her sophomore year. 5 times a 9.8 plus as a junior on the floor. They definitely have fun.
Front handspring to a front 1.5 for her last pass. Very abrupt ending. Front full immediately to a round off back handspring. Double back full. There's a lot going on in that tumbling pass.
Josh Nilsson told us that he wanted to have fun And you can tell that on the floor. It's Emery Summy up for North Carolina, an exhibition for the Tar Heels. You see some of the scores. Rachel Dugan ended up with an 8.2.
They're going to have to count that, and that's probably a point and a half below what she would usually get. Really fighting to stay on that beam there, and she does it.
And this is an exhibition for UNC as you see the scores there.
UNC definitely managed to make up some ground on beam after the performance on bars.
Seco, you see the score there of a 9-8.
Nice double full dismount, just a small step.
Brianna Lanes will do an exhibition for Temple.
The speed she needs to get to make it around 2 full times before she hits the ground. See her coach mouthing, "I'm so proud of you."
There's Lanes getting ready for an exhibition. So the Panthers, Lucy Brett a high of 9.85 on bars. Temple scores on floor as we await the score from Anderson. That's Rense, as you see right there. And the Temple scores impressive on floor.
Yeah, I think they were kind of an underdog coming into this meet, but they're being very impressive.
You see the 9-8 from DeSico. The Panthers have some work to do. They've been good on beam this year.
Hopefully they don't let that pressure get to them. Just do what they know how to do on beam.
What's the message if you're Samantha Snyder right now to your team after 2 rotations?
I'd say there's still a lot of meat left, and they have to work on that short-term memory that we've talked about in previous weeks, is forgetting what might have happened on vault or bars and just focus on what's next. One routine at a time, one skill at a time.
As we look at the standings as we await for the exhibition, you see North Carolina at 4-2, the Panthers at 5-2, and look at those average scores and how tight they are from George Washington up to North Carolina, separated by, what, 0.55? So it's really tight so far in the Eagle, and even if you're George Washington, you're feeling pretty good, even though you're 0-2 to start league play.
Yeah, George Washington could be in #1 after this week with how close it is.
Exhibition. Brianna Lanes for Temple.
Starting with a round up back handspring to a double pike. Front layout and the jump. As a refresher, the exhibitions don't have a chance to count for the team score, so those gymnasts that are exhibitioning are just going out there and seeing what they can do and trying to earn their spot in the lineup.
For the freshman from Harrisburg, a chance to compete in state again.
Double tuck doesn't quite get all the way around. It's a little short, probably a little low on energy by that last pass. But again, the pressure is off. The count doesn't fall for anything. Fall doesn't count for anything.
It's an impressive rotation again for the Temple Owls. India Anderson with her power showing off on floor, and also on beam is Hislop for North Carolina, and Lucy Brett finished strong for the Panthers. We've got scores as we continue. Welcome back to Pittsburgh. As you see, after the second rotation, Temple remains in the lead with North Carolina now second and the Panthers in third place. And it's been a good start to the season for North Carolina, and especially from an individual basis, as the Tar Heels have been led by three different gymnasts that are leading three gymnasts that are leading the Eagle rankings. And Kaja Hislop on vault and floor, and Riley Dewhurst on bars. And of course, you see the top three with Hislop, Hargrave, and Dean on floor. And of course, North Carolina still has to go on floor. They're going to do that now. And joined by former Pitt gymnast Danny Hall, Jeff Hathorn here in the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. What stood out to you so far about what we've seen?
I think Temple's done a really good not being intimidated, maybe being the underdogs coming in today. They've had a really impressive performance so far.
Is there something to just going in and just letting it all out because there's no expectations?
Yeah, maybe they feel no pressure and they're just leaving it all out on the floor, so good for them. Also, Lucy Brett coming back on bars after a fall from Rachel Dugan and having a great performance there.
And the scores show it as Temple remains in the lead. A bit of a surprise, Josh Nilsson's team leading after two rotations. And a solid performance on floor for the Temple Owls. You see dropping a 5.25. A high score there of a 9.7 by Servideo. You see India Anderson with just a 9.575, along with Castrense. Erica Fuchs with a 9.625, and Jaylene Everett with a 9.575. And as a former gymnast, you know scores sometimes you scratch your head.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with India's routine there. Maybe we missed something, but...
North Carolina on beam, and you see the impressive numbers here. Look at Hislop with a 9.925 to take the lead in that event. They're counting 2 9.8s, a 9.7 and a 9.575 from the leadoff from Donahue. So, wow, what a bounce back from North Carolina after having to count a fall themselves on bars.
Yeah, and then with a fall on beam to not let that affect them and still hit 5 routines and count 5 made routines is really great for them.
And for Samantha Snyder and the Panthers, you see the scores. Lucy Brett finishing up strong. Olivia Miller with a 9.75, a couple of 9.5s in there, and the unfortunate fall from Rachel Dugan. And with no sixth competitor, the count of that score of a 9.8, or excuse me, an 8.2, which of course will be tough for the Panthers here, as you see Olivia Miller getting set on beam. And what do you think the words are here as you're getting set for rotation number 3?
I'm thinking Sam's going to focus on telling them to just be in the moment right now, and they can't control what happened on vault or on bars, and to just focus on being one thing at a time.
So you see the Temple Owls moving over to vault. On floor is North Carolina, and there you see the Panthers and Olivia Miller, the freshman from Monroeville. Her third rotation, leading off the Panthers' third rotation.
Switch leap split jump to a back handspring, one arm to start. Very well done. The skill coming up is something that she's struggled with in the past couple weeks. 2 very uncharacteristic falls in a row. So she can get it done today. Back handspring, back layout. Small ball, but she saves it.
Last week, the Panthers able to bounce back in a big way after a struggle. As already, Jasmine Eubanks has gone, and now Monica Servideo.
Lutsenko layout half and stuck landing. Cat leap to a front aerial. Right on the beam. Not a bobble.
Going for North Carolina, Michaela Robinson.
Set Front aerial back 4 for Olivia to finish, and she must feel good about that routine.
Olivia Miller leads off beam for the Panthers as they start this rotation in 3rd place. Temple already with 2 going through vault. And Eubanks and Servideo. Jasmine Estrella will go next.
Front handspring, front full front layout from Michaela on the floor.
Strength of North Carolina. I'm glad you made that face.
Oh my gosh.
You've seen Danny's face of the pain.
That hurt me to watch. Solid Yurchenko full for Temple on vault. Just a small hop back. They are keeping up their momentum, it looks like.
Maybe that start on beam really got them going.
Round off back handspring double tuck for Michaela to finish. Solid routine for UNC on floor for Michaela.
So this is how it started for Temple on vault. Jasmine Eubanks.
Yurchenko full. Look how much distance she gets from the table and has to step forward a little bit with her shoulders down.
Now up for the Panthers is Haley Breckwell.
See in the background, Olivia got a 9.725. So that's a much better start for them than last week. Front aerial back handspring for Haley's series.
Eubanks with a 9.6, a 9.775 for Servideo on vault.
Split jump to a sheep jump on beam for Haley.
See Jaylene Everett.
Yurchenko full on vault. Again, just a small hop back. Kick over front on the beam.
Next up for North Carolina, starting her routine on floor.
Small hop on the dismount for Haley. Then double tuck to start this routine on floor.
You mentioned Olivia Miller with a 9.725. Rense getting ready for the Temple Owls. 5th competitor on vault.
Round off back layout, half front layout for the second pass.
Two-time Scholastic All-American we see over for Temple.
Yurchenko 1.5. Big hop on the landing.
Rense.
All of our previous vaults started at 9.95, but that extra half turn in the Yurchenko 1.5 makes it start at a 10.
There's a grad student.
Another pretty solid routine for UNC on floor.
Haley Breckwald as we wait her score on beam.
Small hop on dismount. You can see a smile on her face. The back layout half, front layout. Second pass on the floor. She does very well with good landing.
Kylie Robertson up for the Panthers on beam.
Starts with a front kickover, right to a back handspring for her series. Really good rhythm on that. It's connected back to back. Straddle jump with a 3/4 twist. Another front kickover, this time landing on one leg. Very impressive skill. A front
Morgan
full
Friday
dismount.
going for Temple.
Yurchenko full, this time with tucked legs and a small step backwards. There's that one-legged kick over again. And the front full dismount with just a small hop. Another hit for Pitt.
3 up, 3 down for the Panthers on beam, trying to make up some ground here. Currently in 3rd place at their home meet. So we go over to the floor. And Jamie Antonori.
Starting off with a round off back handspring double pike. Shoulders in just right position for her landing.
Says she gets all the time and she looks like Anne Hathaway. See it?
Yeah, me too. Another 5'7" gymnast. Round off back layout half to a front layout. Starting on the beam.
So ranked 4th for the Panthers. 9.775 for Breckwald.
Starts off with her leap series.
See the score there from Robertson. 9-9.
Side arrow to a back handspring series. She hits it very solid. Little wobble on her illusion there.
So that 9-9 would be a career high there for Robertson.
It's very impressive for the freshman. Just a dismount left for Lucy. See her reminding herself of her cues before she goes. Side aerial to a back layout full. Tiny step there. Heroic routine.
Denny said you're good with talking to yourself. That's it.
Yeah, I think with just everything, all the moving pieces in a meet, it's important to just focus in on yourself and remind yourself of what you need to say and what you want to focus on for the skill right before it happens. Her series, a side arrow to a back handspring, and another side arrow to a back layout full. Tiny steps control her landing there.
Pretty impressive as Devin Irvine gets set to go for Samantha Snyder. Lily Dean ready for North Carolina as Jamie Antonori finished up on floor.
So that back layout half to a front layout. Great landing, nice and controlled. In a round off back handspring, double tuck. Shoulders a little bit low, but she pops right up.
So on the floor, Robinson with a 9.825, Ruzicka with a 9.525. Now we see Lily Dean.
Tuck through to a double back tuck. Great landing with her shoulders up. See Devin up on beam. Starting off with her back handspring back layout series. Right there, centered on the beam.
See some of Lily's numbers. 9.875 on the floor at the Eagles last year as a freshman. Panthers again trying to make up some ground on the beam. Doing a good job so far.
Solid front tuck from Devin. She has not bobbled even in the slightest bit yet, or at all. Just a small step on her dismount there. Other than that, a pretty flawless routine from Devin. Last pass on floor here. Ground off back handspring to a double pike. Another great landing from her.
Lily Dean, the fourth competitor for North Carolina on the floor. Temple Dunn on vault with 48.625 for the Owls.
See this double pike again, and watch just how straight up and down she is on her landing. Take a nice controlled step back.
North Carolina with Hislop and Hargrave to go on floor, and that's quite a final two to go on floor for the Tar Heels. Samantha Snyder has her ace. Brittany West is up
That
next.
front tuck again, right in center of the beam. Dismount, just a little off balance, had to take that step to control it.
So knowing no falls, if you're Brittany and knowing where you're at in the competition, do you take a chance? Do you try to do something additional to boost your score? What are you thinking here if you're Brittany?
I think the mindset that she probably has is just to go out and do what she knows how to do. She's been doing so great, so I think she should just be confident in her training and her past meets and just be herself, not try to go too hard or too easy.
Kaja Hislop getting set to start for North Carolina on the floor. Hislop with a 9.925 over on beam.
Front layout for 1.5 for her first pass.
Brittany West has started for the Panthers.
It's a difficult leap series there. She does it pretty well.
See that average score of nearly a 9.9.
Back layout series. Slight bobble there. And a double tuck on four. Looks so easy. She had so much time in the air before she hit the ground.
Let's see why she was first team all conference last year.
Definitely. More difficult leaps from Brittany.
Evan Irvine with a 9.8.
Just a dismount left for Brittany. One and a half. Moves her right foot a tiny bit. Pitt is happy to hit 6 routines on beam.
Good bounce back from the Panthers on balance beam.
Slight movement, but another great routine for Brittany, adding to her wonderful comeback story.
So now if you're North Carolina, you've already had a good rotation on floor and you're able to bring Madison Hargrave to the floor.
She floats into that landing.
Hargrave, the senior, who has a career high against who, Danny?
Pitt, of course.
9.875.
It's the trend.
There's got to be some times when you're in a meet and you feel like every gymnast is getting their career best against you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No, you can't. Just got to worry about what you can control.
Salute the greatness and, like you said, do what you can.
Yep. Front handspring, double full twist for her first pass.
Hargrave really come on late in her career. Did not compete as a freshman, only 3 meets as a sophomore.
I think it's interesting that everyone kind of peaks at different times depending on injuries and adjusting to college. Beautiful double pike, a great landing. pass, a round off, back 1.5 to a front layout. Again, done very well. Another great routine for UNC on floor.
Madison Hargrave finishing up floor for North Carolina and head coach Derek Galvin.
Here's that round off, back 1.5, right to a front layout again. Nice and controlled landing and a smile on her face before she even lands.
See North Carolina talking after struggles in their first rotation. North Carolina has it going. You see some of the scores. We'll break them down as we continue. But Temple, the surprise here. Another good rotation on vault, as you saw Jaylene Everett. And North Carolina, again, stellar on floor. The Panthers fighting back themselves on beam. We'll show you some scores as we continue from Pittsburgh. And welcome back to the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. You see the packed house here at the University of Pittsburgh for today's tri-meet between Temple and North Carolina and Kaja Hislop. And what a performance she's had here tonight.
See, she just looks so confident and poised on all of her gymnastics, and she really makes it look so easy.
9.925 on beam. Then she moved over to floor and just a 9.9. Panthers do very well on beam themselves.
What a comeback after having less than what they wanted on bars to come back on beam and do what they did. It's really impressive.
See, 9.9 from Robertson, and then Brittany West with a 9.875 as we get set for the final rotation here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. And Krista Collins, she is known for her dancing. You may have seen her air guitaring through there. I'll tell you who's feeling good about themselves is Temple. They're dropping a 9.6 on vault, and a high score of Jaylene Everett of a 9.8, a 9.775 from Servideo, and Estrella with a 9.75. For North Carolina on floor, where they excel, more good scores. You see the 9.9 from Hislop, a 9.825 from Robinson and Dean, a 9.75 from Hargrave. And Antonori wasn't bad either with a 9.625. For the Panthers over on beam before they move over to the floor. Panthers drop a 9.725 on beam. A 9.9, 9.875 from West. You see Devin Irvine with a 9.8. That probably could have been higher. Breckwell with a 9.775 and Lucy Brett a 9.75 as we're getting set here in the final rotation. Daisy Todd up for the Owls.
Starts off with a beautiful pike Jaeger right back onto the bar.
One of three captains for Temple.
I went to club with her. She was always such a hard worker. It's good to see her doing so well in college.
Another tall gymnast.
Yeah. A blind full straight into a double tuck dismount. Just a little step forward, slightly under rotated, but other than that, a great routine from Daisy to start off Temple on bars.
Panthers are on the floor with Jordan Cesarini. A lot of energy in that body.
She just looks like she's having so much fun. I'm sure she is.
North Carolina taking their time waiting on vault.
Up for her last pass here. Seeing a front handspring to a front full to a front half to a straddle jump. There's a lot going on there. A good lead off on floor for Pitt.
Panthers need a huge floor exercise. And I mentioned a good start for Cesarini and the Panthers. Drew Aldridge 9.775, and Alexis Allen now for North Carolina. we go over to the bars. And Delaney Guerin.
Starting off with a Ginger. A little leg separation there. Line change and a transition down to the low bar.
Each team counting a fall on bars.
See if Temple can break that trend. Line full, straight to a double tuck and a stuck dismount.
If Temple does it, they might win this competition here at Pittsburgh.
They have a good chance if they keep it up.
9-6 for Daisy Todd. As next up for the Panthers after an outstanding beam routine is Kylie Robiton.
She has exhibition last week, so she's earned her spot into this lineup this week. Round off backhand into a double tuck. Leaps there. Kayla Robinson on ball. A super high Yurchenko full and a great landing.
It's the third to go for North Carolina. Monica Servideo getting set to go on bars for Temple. You see her.
Great to catch up there on bars. Turns around and doesn't bail to the low bar. Carly on her last pass, a front layout to a front full. And a double layout dismount for Temple on bars. Another hit routine for them. And another hit routine on floor for Pitt.
Robiton, the second competitor on floor for the Panthers.
Dave and Krista are running around trying to get the crowd fired up for this last rotation. Her steps must have been a little messed up. I think as long as she didn't touch the apparatus, she should be able to go back and try again. Hopefully she'll be able to catch her breath. It's crazy. Her steps really have to be in that perfect distance from the vault in order for your vault to work. So she must have sensed something was a little bit off. But it's good she sensed it before she touched the vault.
You hit it. She didn't touch anything. Olivia Miller up next for the Panthers on the floor. Zara getting some last-minute advice to work. As we see Madison Hargrave. Going through her mind, you see her career high on vault coming just a week ago.
Hoping to get her spacing and timing right this time. She does. Yurchenko layout full, very beautifully done. Small hop on the landing, but great shape in the air. You can see how high, how fast she gets off the table. Plenty of time in the air to twist and make a great landing. Olivia on
Edwards for Temple. Olivia Miller for the Panthers.
Double layout just went on bars. Small step forward, a little bit under rotated. Olivia starting off with a double pike on floor. For her second pass, a round up back handspring, double tuck. Another great landing.
Scores for North Carolina on vault. Dropping right now a 9.675. Hargrave with a 9.775. And Kaja Hislop.
Beautiful Yurchenko full. It's the highest one I've seen this season, maybe. Olivia a little bit short on her last pass there.
Just a beautiful gymnast Hislop is.
Again, she makes it look so easy. Here's that double pike again from Olivia.
Here's Hislop.
Watch how high and how beautiful her shape is in the air. Opens up with plenty of time to arrive to the ground. Takachev on bars. A bail to the low bar.
That's Rensei. Temple just needs to hit one of these last two, and you think they've probably locked themselves to at least a second place situation.
Double layout dismount with a small hop.
There they do it right there.
It's going to be tight between Temple and UNC.
So they're the only team tonight that will go through bars without counting a fall. And finally for North Carolina, Megan Ruzicka.
Just a Yurchenko layout there, a little bit lower of a start value. So see, she doesn't twist at all in there, she just does a layout. And a hop on the landing and shoulders down.
So North Carolina feeling pretty good, especially after an early fall on bars that they had to count. They really bounced back well. Sophie Bohenik is up next for the Panthers.
Getting some advice on her dancing from Krista.
Head over to Jasmine Estrella. Finish out bars for Temple.
Straight up to the high bar. Toe handstand. Straight to a Takachev. Nice hit handstand there. Pack salto to the low bar. Just gonna turn around so she can get set up to get back up to the high bar. Nice last handstand there. Double out dismount, small step there.
Jasmine Estrella finishes off for Temple. What a meet for the Owls here in Pittsburgh. Sophie Bohenik's been waiting. And now she's ready to go on the floor.
Front 1.5 to start off. Back handspring double pike for her second pass. Shoulders a little bit low on the landing. Back 1.5 front layout for her last pass. Very solid routine from Sophie.
Sophie Bohenik for the Panthers. The Panthers retro Now, I was very impressed by the coaches saying this week that how they wanted to take advantage of every opportunity and wanted to make sure that everybody had fun. And I know that's tough at times.
Especially when you're in a situation where one event maybe didn't go as well. It's hard to not be upset about that throughout the rest of the meet. So, and it looks like they're having a lot of fun on floor, so hopefully they've left that behind them and are just enjoying the rest of this meet.
Patrikas.
First pass, a round off back handspring, double pike. And a front layout to a front full for her second pass. 2 great landings so far. Team falling from that kick. The last pass, a round off back handspring to a double tuck. Shoulders a little bit low, but she pops them right back up.
See the applause and hear it for Alicia Patrikas.
Here's that double pike again. Great height, great form in the air. Sam goes for her double tuck. See, she's low, but she just reverses that right as she lands.
Samantha Snyder with one competitor left. It's Charlie Spivey, the senior from Alabama. Fair to say one of the more outgoing members of the team?
Yes. Yes, and she has some Southern charm to her, too. People always say her and Alicia look like twins. As you can see from that side view there.
Absolutely. It's like a mirror.
Yeah.
All Scholastic team in conference and getting ready to be the anchor for the Panthers here and the final competitor here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse this evening. See the solid score on vault for Charlie.
It's sometimes hard to compete on the first event and then have to wait to compete on the last event, but she's done a great job with it so far. Round off back handspring, 2.5 to a front tuck for her first pass. Setting up for her second pass here. Round off back handspring to a double tuck. Solid landing there. I spoke about her Southern charm, but this routine's a little bit intense, so maybe you can't see that coming through. Definitely plays the part, though. And her last pass, a front handspring to a 1.5. Another great landing and a great ending to the meet for the Panthers.
Well-deserved applause from the home fans for Charlie Spivey.
Here's that double tuck again. See, she sticks her leg out and manages to keep it solid.
Big reactions from her teammates. That'll do it for 4 rotations here in Pittsburgh. It's been an impressive performance. A couple of podium finishes for Temple and Monica Servideo. as the Owls came west and did well. North Carolina, really solid. Hislop, what a performance she put on here tonight. And the Panthers, Alicia Petrika is finishing up on floor. Scores are next.
These days we're all stressed. I hear you, sister. That's why I'm partnering with Cigna to remind you to go in for your annual checkup and be open with your doctor about anything you feel, physically and emotionally, body and mind.
Are you guys good with brakes?
We're okay.
Just okay?
Yeah, we have a saying here. If you can't stop, you can still honk.
Networks like mechanics should never be just okay. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5GE.
And welcome back to the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse as you see the final scores. And what a performance by the Temple Owls, with North Carolina finishing second and the Panthers third. Jeff Hathorn here with Danny Hall, the former Pitt gymnast. And really, the Panthers were kind of done in by a fall early on bars.
Yeah, but they did a good job coming back on beam. We talked about their push theme for the week, and that was about making success happen, which they had before, but the point was to not be complacent and settle with how they were doing, and they really stepped up on beam and let that show. 4-2.
Saw some really nice performances, too. Hislop was impressive, and I thought Servideo really led this Temple team as well.
Yeah, Temple had a great meet. Same with UNC. It was some good competition out there today.
And we're going to come back and get you the final results and who finished on the podium as we continue from Pittsburgh. Here in Pittsburgh, as Samantha Snyder and the Panthers await the individual scores. As you see, Temple wins here in Pittsburgh over North Carolina and the Panthers. And Danny, quite a difference for the Owls. The last time they met the Panthers, it was a different performance than what we saw here as Temple comes back and really is one of their best performances I've seen from them.
Yeah, they had a really solid meet. I think they just, like we said earlier, maybe the pressure was off, and they just went out there and did their best, and it was great. And I think for Pitt, what happened was once they counted that fall on bars with only 5 people, that's hard to recover from.
As we get set now with public address announcer Colin Sisk.
In second place with a score of 9.85 from the University of North Carolina, Michaela Robinson. And in first place with a score of 9.90 from the University of North Carolina, Keza Hillslop. Moving to bars. On bars, we have a 4-way tie for second place with a score of 9.75. From Temple University, Monica Servideo. From Temple University, Jasmine Estrella. From North Carolina, Riley Dewhurst. And from the University of Pittsburgh, Olivia Miller. And your event champion on bars with a score of 9.85 from the University of Pittsburgh, Lucy Brett. Now we move on to the balance beam. We had a 2-way tie for second place with a score of 9.90 from Temple University, Monica Servideo. And from the University of Pittsburgh, Conley Raban. And your winner on beam with a score of 9.925 for the University of North Carolina, Keza Hillslop. On floor exercise in second place with a score of 9.85 from the University of Pittsburgh, Charlie Spivey.
The girl from North Carolina, her name is...
And in first place on floor exercise with a score of 9.90 for the University of North Carolina, Kaja Hislop. In the all-around, in second place with a score of 38.825 from Temple University, Ariana Castrense. And in first place in the all-around with a score of 39.125 from Temple, Monica Servideo. And now for our final team scores. In third place with a score of 193.550, the University of Pittsburgh. In second place with a score of 194.050, the University of North Carolina. And your winners this evening with a score of 194.300, Temple University.
And again, congratulations to the Temple Owls for coming west to Pittsburgh and winning here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. For Danny Hall and our outstanding crew, I'm Jeff Hathorn saying so long from Pittsburgh. The final score is Temple beats North Carolina and Pitt Temple with the score of 194.3. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the ESPN app. To watch this meet on replay, as well as other events on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.